Trump Tower is a 58-story, 664-foot tall, 202 m, mixed-use condominium skyscraper at 721 to 725 Fifth Avenue in the Midtown Manhattan neighborhood of New York City, between East 56th and 57th Streets. The building contains the headquarters for the Trump Organization, as well as the penthouse residence of its developer, the businessman and former U.S. President Donald Trump. Several members of the Trump family also live, or have lived, in the building. The tower stands on a plot where the flagship store of the department store chain Bonwit Teller was formerly located. Der Scott of Swanky Hayden Connell Architects designed Trump Tower, and Trump and the Equitable Life Assurance Company, now the AXA Equitable Life Insurance Company, developed it. Although it is in one of Midtown Manhattan's special zoning districts, the tower was approved because it was to be built as a mixed-use development. Trump was permitted to add more stories to the tower in return for additional retail space and for providing privately owned public space on the ground floor, the lower level, and 2 outdoor terraces. There were controversies during construction, including the destruction of historically important sculptures from the Bonwit Teller store, Trump's alleged underpaying of contractors, and a lawsuit that Trump filed because the tower was not tax-exempt. Construction on the building began in 1979. The atrium, apartments, offices, and stores opened on a staggered schedule from February to November 1983. At first, there were few tenants willing to move into the commercial and retail spaces. The residential units were sold out within months of opening. After Trump's 2016 presidential campaign and subsequent election, the tower saw large increases in visitation, though security concerns required the area around the tower to be patrolled for several years. Trump Tower is at 721 to 725 Fifth Avenue in the northern section of Midtown Manhattan, on the east side of Fifth Avenue between East 56th and 57th Streets. It is adjacent to the Tiffany and Co. flagship store to the north and 590 Madison Avenue to the east. Other nearby buildings include the LVMH Tower and Fuller Building to the northeast, the LP Hollander and Company Building to the north, the Bergdorf Goodman Building and Solo Building to the northwest, the Crown Building to the west, 712 Fifth Avenue and the townhouses at 10 and 12 West 56th Street to the southwest, and 550 Madison Avenue to the southeast. The building's main entrance is on Fifth Avenue, with a side entrance on 56th Street only for residents. On the sidewalk opposite the main entrance, there is a 4-sided brown and beige clock, which was created by the Electric Time Company and is nearly 16 feet, 4.9 m, tall. In August 2023, the New York Times wrote that the clock had been installed illegally, as the building's owner, the Trump Organization, had neither applied for nor received a permit. The Trump Organization finally applied for a permit in 2015, but the New York City Department of Transportation reminded the Trump Organization of its 2015 notification regarding unauthorized structures in July 2023. Trump Tower, home to the corporate offices of the Trump Organization, is one of Manhattan's most iconic buildings. Completed in 1984, the 68-story mixed-use structure was built in New York's Tiffany Location, right next door to the world-famous Tiffany and Company jewelry store, located on Fifth Avenue between 56th and 57th Street, and is considered to be the most prestigious intersection in all of New York City. In 1979, Mr. Trump purchased the existing 11-story property from Genesco with the goal of constructing the first super-luxury high-rise property in New York to include high-end retail shops, office space, and residential condominiums. Famed architect Der Scott was selected to translate Mr. Trump's vision into a dramatic, angular design covered by a singular glass curtain wall with a series of planted outdoor terraces anchoring the lower floors. An extraordinary 5-story atrium was created for the retail space, featuring a spectacular 60-foot high waterfall alongside the eastern wall, spanned by a dramatic suspended walkway. On opening day, the 5 levels of retail shops, galleries, and restaurants quickly became New York's most exclusive shopping destination. With a private entrance on 56th Street, the Trump Tower condominiums rise from the 30th to the 68th floor. Featuring floor-to-ceiling windows with panoramic views of both Midtown Manhattan and Central Park, the residences sold out at record-setting prices. Residents have access to the finest amenities and world-class, white-glove service from our incredible associates, many of whom have been with the property for decades. Beginning in 2004, Trump Tower gained even more notoriety with the premiere of the hit television series The Apprentice, featuring the celebrated boardroom, team suites, and other location shots within the building. One of the most famous catchphrases in television history, "You're fired," was born at Trump Tower, and Mr. Trump would later go on to host 14 seasons. Today Trump Tower stands as a world-famous testament of Mr. Trump's grand vision and ability to achieve tremendous success with everything he touches. Designed by world-renowned architect Scott in 1983, Trump Tower has been a staple in the New York City skyline for over 30 years. Rising 68 stories over Fifth Avenue's most desirable intersection, Trump Tower houses 263 residences unrivaled in quality, as well as one of the city's most ornate atrium and shopping spaces. Once the tallest all-glass structure in New York City, Trump Tower offers residents not only a reputation, but homes that capture unobstructed views of Central Park, Midtown Manhattan, and downtown Manhattan. Trump Tower is home to 3 distinct dining facilities: the world-renowned Trump Grill, casual fare Trump Cafe, and the elegant Trump Bar. One of the most notable features of Trump Tower is the breathtaking 60-foot waterfall embellishing the eastern wall of the building. The combination of the luxury condominiums, world-class restaurants, and high-end stores make Trump Tower a building of unparalleled luxury. The Italian fashion retailer Gucci is the biggest commercial tenant, renting 48,667 square feet, 4,521.3 square meters, along Fifth Avenue since 2007. Their rent in 2019 was $440 per square foot. Gucci renegotiated the lease in 2020 and received a reduction in rent for agreeing to extend the lease beyond 2026. CONCACAF, the governing body of association football in North and Central America and the Caribbean, used to occupy the entire 17th floor. 154 Qatar Airways, owned by the Qatari government, has rented commercial space in the tower since at least 2008, a fact that news media outlets noted when Executive Order 13769 suspended immigration from 7 majority Muslim countries but not from Qatar. From 2008 to October 2019, the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China operated a bank branch with 100 employees on 3 rented floors of Trump Tower, for approximately $2 million a year. The bank rented 25,356 square feet, making it the third largest tenant after Gucci and the Trump Corporation. It paid $95.48 per square foot in 2012. Forbes estimated that the bank paid about $3.9 million in rent in 2017 and 2018. Eric Trump said in October 2019 that the bank was continuing to rent 2 floors. According to Forbes staff, by October 2020, Trump had received approximately $5.4 million from the China state-owned bank ICBC through its $1.9 million annual rent in Trump Tower. The monthly rent paid by the Donald Trump 2016 presidential campaign for its Trump Tower headquarters increased from $35,458 in March 2016 to $169,758 in August. $162 from its launch in January 2017 until the end of 2018. The Donald Trump 2020 presidential campaign paid more than $890,000 in rent. In March 2021, the campaign's space on the 15th floor was taken over by one of Trump's PACs for $37,541.67 per month. The Trump Organization has its headquarters on the 25th and 26th floors. The Trump Organization holds a 100-year ground lease, set to expire in 2076, on an adjacent building, 6 East 57th Street owned by Digby Management, known as 6 East 57th Street Associates LLC. One of Trump Tower's public terraces, POPs, is located on top of this building, which housed the Nike Town store from 1994 until 2018. In 2018, the luxury jeweler Tiffany and Co. subleased the 5-story, 74,000 square foot space until 2022 while Tiffany's own building next door was being renovated. During and after the 2016 U.S. presidential election, opponents of Trump's election created petitions to relocate the Nike Town store, whose lease ran through 2022. Nike closed the store in the spring of 2018 as previously planned and moved to its new flagship store on 5th Avenue in November. Donald Trump, his wife Melania, and their son Barron maintain a 3-story residence on the penthouse floors, covering about 11,000 square feet, 1,000 square meters. The tower was their primary residence until October 2019. The Trump Organization offices are on the 25th and 26th floors, and there is a private elevator between the penthouse and Trump's office. Trump uses the building for meetings, such as in April 2024 with President of Poland Andrzej Duda and former Prime Minister of Japan Taro Aso. Angelo Dongia provided the original black and white, brass and mahogany design for the penthouse, which was later replaced with a gold and Greek column design after Trump reportedly saw the more lavish house of the Saudi businessman Adnan Khashoggi. In a 1984 article in GQ magazine, Trump's first wife Ivana said the first floor of the penthouse had the living, dining, and entertainment rooms and kitchen, the second floor had their bedrooms and bathrooms as well as a balcony over the living room, and the third had bedrooms for the children, maids, and guests. Other residents include the filmmaker Vincent Gallo, the art dealer Hillel Heli Nahmad, who bought a second apartment in the tower in July 2010, 179 Juan Beckman Vidal, the owner of the tequila brand Jose Cuervo, and the actor Bruce Willis, who bought a $4.26 million apartment in 2007. Past tenants include Jean-Claude Baby Doc Duvalier, the ex-president of Haiti who died in 2014, who was discovered to have lived in a $2 million apartment on the 54th floor in 1989, when public records in Haiti showed that he had forgotten to pay his bills. The singer Michael Jackson rented an apartment on the 63rd floor during the 1990s. The composer Andrew Lloyd Webber, known for musicals such as Cats, moved out of his 59th and 60th floor apartment in 2010 after 17 years of stating his intention to do so. Carlos Peralta, a billionaire businessman from Mexico, sold an apartment in Trump Tower in 2009 for $13.5 million. Prince Mutaib bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, reportedly lived on an entire floor in the tower. Chuck Blazer, the former president of CONCACAF, rented 2 apartments on the 49th floor, one occupied by himself and another occupied by his cats, for a combined $24,000 per month. The apartments and office space were described as part of an extravagant lifestyle that ultimately resulted in Blazer being apprehended and becoming an FBI informant in a corruption investigation into several soccer organizations. Jose Maria Marin, former president of the Brazilian Football Confederation, had been living in a $3.5 million apartment. After being sentenced to 4 years in prison in 2018, he was placed under house arrest at his apartment in 2020. Portuguese footballer Cristiano Ronaldo, who paid $18.5 million for an apartment in August 2015, put it on the market for $9 million in 2019 and sold it for $7.18 million in 2022. Trump's parents, Fred and Mary, had a second home on the 63rd floor they sometimes used when visiting Manhattan. During Trump's presidency, the Secret Service initially used the apartment directly underneath Trump's triplex penthouse as their command post but moved into a trailer on the sidewalk in July 2017. In April 2017, the United States Department of Defense signed an 18-month lease for space in Trump Tower to house personnel and equipment dedicated to protecting the president, paying more than $130,000 per month to an owner other than Trump or the Trump Organization. The former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort, who lived in the tower when he was Trump's campaign manager, agreed to forfeit his Trump Tower condo in September 2018, as part of a plea deal made during the special counsel investigation of Russian ties to the 2016 election. Trump Tower served as the location for Wayne Enterprises in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. In a 2012 vlog post on the Trump Organization's YouTube channel, Trump referred to the movie as really terrific and that most importantly Trump Tower my building plays a role. Other films have used Trump Tower as a filming location as well. For instance, the 2010 comedy film The Other Guys contains a car chase scene that has Samuel L. Jackson's character drive his car into Trump Tower. The penthouse in Trump Tower was used as a filming location for the action film Self/Less, 2015. Trump Tower, a romance novel by Jeffrey Robinson, chronicles the sexual activities of fictional characters living in the tower. News media reported on the novel's existence during the last week of the 2016 presidential campaign. The novel was never formally published but is registered as having an international standard book number. For unknown reasons, some versions of the novel are advertised with Trump as the author. Trump Tower is featured on the cover of the 1997 video game Grand Theft Auto and is depicted in the 2008 sequel Grand Theft Auto 4 and its episodes The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony as Cleethorpes Tower. Thank you for watching this video.